Hey, everybody.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. You need a pen.
Well, let's see. Some of us are here.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
I see 6. Who are we missing?
Holly,
Okay.
she said she'll be here shortly.
Oh, and Albert's not here?
I know Albert's not here yet.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
And Scott, is Scott coming or Scott can't come?
Scott was here.
Scott's
Scott's
here.
here. Oh, I just don't
Okay.
see him, I guess, for some reason. Oh, yes, I do. There's Scott in the pink shirt.
Okay.
Maybe it's red. I'm not sure.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Oh.
It's all yours.
I know. So we're almost all here, but have you given me hosting?
No, do you have stuff to show?
Yourself.
Just the financial report and the audit report. That's all I have.
Okay, hang on.
Probably have some things to show because we got to finish up stuff from last year.
Who can okay, boom. And who can start sharing which one is it? Okay. Okay, you should be able to share it now.
Okay. I can figure out how to, right?
You should have a green share screen button down.
Okay, I see that.
So you click on that and find what it is you have open.
Okay.
To share.
All right. So,
Yeah, here it comes. There you go.
yeah. Okay, so I guess everybody had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting, which was October.
Is everyone else getting a real bad echo here?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's because Dennis and Sharon are in the same room.
Oh, I muted myself.
I'll mute myself.
Okay.
Dennis, you're not muted.
I am.
No, you're not.
No, we're hearing you.
Well, it says mute. Maybe I'll just turn off. Wait a minute. I'll just sit with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave.
Turn the volume down on yours.
I did. I'm
Okay.
I'll just go over here.
Is the echo gone now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from last October?
I'll be on. Hey, no, I was derelict in that duty.
Okay.
Is there
We're supposed.
Is there anything on the minutes that you want to renegotiate?
I don't. I looked at them and they look fine to me, but we're supposed to approve them.
I move a motion that we approve the minutes as written by Dennis.
I'll
second.
Okay. Everybody for? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. The second thing is I have to find it. The second thing on the agenda is the I gotta go back and, this is not the easiest thing to navigate, is it?
It takes some getting used to.
Okay, new share. The financial report is next. And I thought that I had it queued up. But I don't see it now.
Do we have a financial report going into for January?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Well, it's actually December. It's the January report.
Okay.
Right. Well, let me find it again. Okay, can you guys see it?
No
No, we still see the
minutes.
minutes.
Okay. Share. Here it is. Okay, this is January report. And
Right.
turn that over to Sharon.
So we opened the month with December with $1,956.63. We had $315 in membership, cash, checks, and Venmo. You can see the breakout of that. And 20 cents in interest. So we ended up with $2,271.83, and we had no expenses. So that's our balance, $2,271.83. I deposited another $2,095 after the first of the year. Again, that's all membership, and I have one membership fee of $15 that came into the Venmo account that I haven't transferred to this account yet either. So that's another $310, right? That we have, but it isn't reflected in the December numbers.
So what would the balance be, Sharon?
Something like $2,500.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so are we supposed to vote to accept this or anything, or is it just a report?
It's just well,
If
I
you have
don't
questions,
remember when, but we decided that it would just be a report because there was nothing in the bylaws about having to approve it.
right.
Okay,
If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And I Beverly should have a copy to put in the minutes. So
okay, got it.
Okay. I've got a couple of questions if nobody else does.
I don't. Go ahead, Victor.
Okay. Who is Beverly or Sharon the one that would know how many outstanding members still have not paid their dues?
that would be Beverly. I tell her who's paid dues, but I don't exactly keep the roster. Dennis always kept the roster as secretary, and Sandy before him. So the secretary has always kept the roster.
Okay.
But I forward information to Beverly every time I get a membership payment.
Okay. And just on what you've been depositing, do you have an idea of how many people have taken advantage of the 50% discount and joined PSA?
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5. There's you, and there's Dennis and I, Albert.
Eric Gordon.
Yeah, there's a couple. I can see who they are. Jeffrey Newton,
Okay.
Genevieve Inman, Edward Zukowski. That's the people I already mentioned.
Okay.
So there's about 6, I guess.
Okay. Cool.
So Beverly, do you know how many people we still have outstanding?
I would have to count them up. I'd have to look at the list and count them up. but I can send
Okay.
that to you.
Okay.
There's quite a few that are on the membership list that are outstanding.
I would, Dennis and I, when we were looking at the end of the year, we're looking at the list, and there were a number of people, there was a whole family that never came to a meeting after the first meeting. They paid, so there's a number of people, we would be surprised if they re-upped, but
Yeah, me too.
we've also got a couple of new people, or a number of new people, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
I
thanks.
know you've heard this before, but my check's in the mail. I promise, Sharon.
You got stuff going on in your life, Scott. I'm not, you aren't the only one. I know Beverly Beaversdorf family is unhealthy right now, or Barbara Beaversdorf, right? Yeah. Her
Yeah.
family is unhealthy, and she hasn't sent her check, and she sent an apology. I'm like, those of you who've been with us for years and years and are participating, and for whatever reason haven't got a check to me, I'm not exactly losing sleep over. So
Yeah, I was a little late this year too. You would think we'd be a lot more efficient, but for some reason I'm not. Not at all.
It's been a
Okay.
heck of a few months.
Yeah. Maybe it'll get better, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is the recommendations from the audit committee. So share. Maybe did not get that one up.
No, I think you got it up. It's you just gotta get up to the top.
Maybe it's down here.
No, you passed it.
I passed it.
Yep.
Okay, right here. Got it.
Right there.
Yeah, so I guess we should discuss this and figure out what we want to do. But the recommendation from the 2020 audit committee is that we should either include the last month or two of the previous year along with the current year. So it says this would include any early dues, payments, and end of year expenses. If possible, a clarification on the bylaws. Should the audit be the current year only or a running 12 months audit to include those last 2 to 3 months? So
my only input on that is that by doing the current year, we're auditing the board that is currently in place and the treasurer who's currently in place. If, for instance, I hadn't run this year, I would not be here this year as treasurer. And if you went back to last November or December, and I was no longer treasurer and maybe not even still in the state, you'd have to rely on whatever records you have without being able to question me. It seems like we should be auditing the year that the current board is in place, but I'm not going to lose sleep over that one way or the other. I'm just saying that seems reasonable, but I don't care one way or the other.
Well, that makes sense to me. What is everybody else's thoughts?
Well, my first thought is that we've already taken it a step further than we have in the past. And we changed the bylaws last year based on last year's recommendation. And I think it worked out really well this year. I mean, we let the committee ask for what they wanted to ask for. They found no problems with it, and they saw that the hard work that Sharon's putting into it. I think my recommendation would be to leave it like it is, but I would also want to hear from Beverly on this, because Beverly used to work for a nonprofit that dealt with this kind of stuff. So I would defer to Beverly for this to get some background.
Okay, well, the only reason I could see to maybe include the last month or two of the previous year is that you do get a look at those months, where if you're just doing the current year, you're not getting the whole picture, because the last month of the year is 1 or 2 months a year. That's when we have the membership dues coming in. We have the Christmas party expenses and things like that. So that's really the months where there's probably the biggest expenses and income.
So I'm confused. How have we been doing it? Have we just been doing it for the current year, or did we include the last couple of months of the previous year?
We've only, the last 2 years, we've only done the current year.
Has it been there's not been any problems with that, right?
No,
I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, before that, I'm not sure we were even doing audits, even though we were supposed to, but I wasn't treasurer, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure we were doing audits.
So when is the final audit done? In December for the for that year?
it has to be done prior to the new president taking office.
Oh, so it's not even done every year. It's done just,
No, it's
No,
No,
it's
every
done
year.
every year. The when I read the bylaws, to me, it looked like it was a something that was added to give the incoming president a warm and fuzzy about the finances.
right, but we don't get a new president every year. So are we doing an audit every year, or only before a new president takes charge?
every
No,
year.
every year,
Every
because
year.
you could get a new president every year. I mean, it's possible
Okay,
because the current president has to uh, be nominated again and run again.
so, right, so my question is, when does the audit actually take place?
Sometime between October and December.
So to me, adding the month or two before the current year depends on when the audit is done. If the audit's done at the end of December, then you don't need to include November and December in the next year's audit, right? But if you do the
Right.
audit in October, then you are going to need to include November and December in the next year's audit. So it really depends to me on when you do the audit, right? Or am I not looking at that right?
No, you bring up a valid point, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, from a business,
Either way, right?
yeah, from a business perspective, you usually do the audits at the end of the year.
Right, because if you're
So you
wanting to
get the whole
include,
year. Yeah,
right, because
Mhm.
normally one of our biggest expenses is the Christmas party. So if
Right,
you're wanting to include that in the current year's audit, then you don't do it until the end of December.
right. So that means we have to have an audit committee that's willing to work on that sometime at the end of December or sometime
Right,
between whenever we do our last meeting and the end of December so that it's finalized
right,
before the end of the year.
right. Or you change the audit period from October to October,
yeah,
something like that.
Right,
But then you're not auditing the board that's in place.
Right,
You would
that's the,
sometimes be auditing a board with members
Right.
who might not even still be in the state. I mean,
yeah,
Dale
that's
moved,
true.
Dale moved across the country.
Right,
Now, I had his records, but I would have to say I would have had trouble defending them
right.
just
Yeah, so,
because, there's somebody else's records.
yeah,
right. But from your perspective, Sharon, when you inherited it, did you most likely had a meeting with the previous treasurer so that you understood I mean, not that you had to defend what he did in his record keeping, but so that you at least understood what he did and where we stood when it was transitioned over to you.
That was true, but I would have to say that the club was much smaller then.
Right.
And, you know, what he said to me is, you know, you're going to have a month or two when you're getting membership and you'll have 2 or 3 expenses out of the year, but really this is not a big job. Well, it's become a much bigger job. I'm now getting membership dues all through the year. And if it wasn't a COVID year, I'd have some expenses throughout the year. And he, you know, after last year, I put in place, based on the suggestions from last year's audit committee, I put in place a bunch of things like Xeroxing all the checks and Xeroxing my receipts and a lot of record keeping that hadn't really been done. I had all the statements, you know, I didn't have any concerns about whether there was anything wrong, but I put in a whole bunch of more steps. And actually probably would be easier to follow me than it was to follow Dale, but still, if somebody took over from me in December and Dennis and I moved to California and you had any questions, you'd be up the creek if you couldn't follow my records because I'd be gone.
Oh, we'd find you.
Well, we haven't found Dale, but oh well.
We might not be able, she might not be able to answer the questions, but we might find her.
Yeah, I would hope that my records would be good enough. I mean, this year's audit committee didn't have any trouble following my path at all. But I'm just saying that if you are going to be auditing a former board and a former treasurer, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saying that's.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm for doing the current year's audit from January to December and having your audit done at the end of December.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I guess what we really should do is to make sure that we have a committee assigned by November and have them ready to do the audit mid-December, soon after our last meeting of the year.
They would.
I mean, we won't have all of the
You
dues.
won't have all of December. Yeah.
Right, you won't have all of December, you won't have all of the dues, but you're not going to have all of the dues anyway until probably January or February.
True. I also won't have a statement from the bank, but I can print out. They don't actually. Yeah, I can print something out that they could use.
Well, what about, I mean, I presented the financial committee's audit report to the membership at the December meeting. We could push that back to January instead of putting the crunch there, in, you know, the middle and the end of December when everybody is going home to visit relatives and stuff like that, you know, normally, or have people coming in for the holidays. Give them January to get it done.
So,
Yeah.
so with that recommendation, that puts the audit being done on the previous board in January following year.
Yep, it does.
Yeah.
But what it
I mean-
is the incoming president is conducting an audit to know where they stand moving forward.
And that's a thought. I mean,
But-
that's,
Remember though that they don't just audit 1 month, so they could choose way before December. They could choose in October to audit May and January, and then audit December in addition. I mean, this year they chose 3 months, and 2 of the months didn't have any activity in it, so they chose a 4th month. You know, it doesn't make any difference to me, except I have to print out all the material and get it to them. But so they could complete most of the audit well before December if they wished, And then
So
just do it December if that's what they want to do.
So the question I have from listening to that is they did not audit the entire year anyway. They only,
That's not what
Yeah,
the,
the bylaws gives them the latitude to select
certain,
Yeah,
months.
you
certain
normally
months.
would not do every month unless you had a organization that had a lot of activity. Ideally, as you randomly select 2 or 3 months out of the year to look at, ideally the months that you have some activity. And
Okay, so if that's the case, then maybe, gosh, it's almost like you might want to wait until October and then do, but again, you're doing a couple of months in the end of the year where all your activity is. I mean, if we're only doing the middle of the year, we're not doing the bulk of our activity in the first place ever.
well, January is pretty busy, I can tell you. January, about half of the membership comes in during January.
Okay, and you have a starting point from from December.
Mhm. But we also have activity throughout the year. I have new members joining almost every month of the year, except for 2 of the months when they chose, when I didn't have any activity. But this is a COVID year. This year was unusual. We didn't do fall into art. We didn't do, some of the things we usually pay for and do and participate in or have expenses from, we didn't do this year. So obviously they didn't have an ordinary year to audit. But we can change it however we want, or we can tell them they have 3 months or 4 months. They can choose the months they want to do, and if they want to choose December, they can choose December. They'll just have to work into January. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so 2020's audit's completed. And we just need to decide if we're going to change our bylaws. I don't know what they currently say without going out there and looking, but
Melissa, I can read it real quick.
okay, yeah, do that, Victor.
Okay. Can you hear me over here?
Yes.
yes,
Okay. A review of the financial records will be conducted once a year by an audit committee appointed by the president. This committee will be made up of 2 or more club members who are not members of the board. The treasurer will provide the audit committee all records, documents related to the month and it's got S in parentheses, which to me means they can just ask for 1 month or they can ask for multiple months. Selected by the committee for review. The final written audit committee report will be provided to the board and the general membership upon completion of the audit by the audit committee. So there's not a time frame that it has to be completed in, just that it has to be done once a year. Okay, so
there's no reason the audit committee can't ask for December.
no,
right.
there's not. But it doesn't have to be completed until February if they want to take that long to do it.
So I don't see that we need to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no bylaw change needed.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, I think that once the committee is appointed, then they can choose when they want to do it and what months they want to do. And it already states that. So I don't think we need to change anything either.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, what we have right now, I mean, Beverly was on the audit committee year before last with Barbara. Okay. And Beverly's the one that made the verbiage for the current bylaw that we have. Okay. That was her suggestion. And Beverly, the reason I didn't select you for the audit committee this year is because you had graciously said you would run for the board. So, because there was that connection there, I didn't want the
Right.
overlap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we need it. And Melissa, I think, well, I'll just tell you, the way I did it was I just wanted to get it done because it checked the box for the bylaws. Okay. And then I wanted to get it done this year to check the box for the bylaws, but so that you would know that we were moving forward and everything was still okay.
Right.
Because if I was up and moving, you know, and Sharon was moving, what would you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're not moving. Okay, let's move on then. No change is needed.
Okay.
Okay, we were going to have a committee update from Ralph, but I don't think Ralph is here. And we're not doing anything for committees anyway, so I think we're just going to skip over that. Dennis, PSA, just an update in general.
Okay, well, the second phase of the inter-club competition is due to PSA on the 15th of February. In order to get it there on the 15th of February, I need the photos, the 6 photos that we're going to present by the 1st of February, so I can go back to the people that have donated the photos, so I can get written release from them to send to PSA. In order to do that, we have to select a selection committee, and we have to decide what photos the selection committee are going to look at. Right now, we have 19 photos from the last, from the first phase that weren't selected that you could look at. We have a folder with 5 new submissions, and we had a suggestion that we also look at PSA's critiques that that received 9s on their photos, and have the selection committee look at all of those and decide what 6 they want. So what we need is a selection committee, and we need the board to figure out exactly what photos they're going to look at. And the selection committee has to have their photos selected by the 1st of February. So we're kind of short on time.
Okay. So last time we had Sandy, Sharon, and Victor were on the selection committee. Do any of you want to do it again, or does anybody else on the board want to do that?
I'd be happy to do it. And I think the selection committee should always have at least one PSA member on it,
Okay.
at least, if not all 3.
And it shouldn't be, somebody can't be on the selection committee who's offering a photo. So it's
Submitting.
And I'm not going to offer a photo. I would be willing to be on the selection committee, but we got some new people who are PSA members, and maybe we should reach out to them and see if one of them want to be on.
Okay. So we want to have Victor and Dennis do it, and then select somebody else that has just joined PSA.
Or somebody else in the club. It should be one member from PSA. It doesn't have to be me, but I'm willing to do it.
Okay.
And there's lots of photos out there, so we got to narrow it down. What photos do you think they should look at?
Okay. So I can send out a message to the membership and ask if anyone is interested in filling that role for February, and then we do it again in April, right?
Yeah, so we're going to have to, go back and do this again very quickly.
Right. So maybe we just solicit for input from whoever wants to do it, letting them know that we need them to work in January to review what we have and with the rest of the committee. And one of you, Victor, you want to head the committee?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay. Then we can see who else the other two want to be. And I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I'll ask for volunteers within the next week. So
Dennis said
Dennis
he
is
was
doing it.
willing.
Dennis is doing it. Okay, so we need only one more then.
Right.
Is there anybody else on
For
the
this.
board that wants to do it?
I did it
can
last time and I
assist.
would do it, but I think there's some other people out there that we probably should ask before I do it.
Okay.
I can help too if needed, but I have some entries in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's,
I can leave them out.
No, no, we want you in there. The,
Well, maybe we need to get some other people in the club involved in that.
I would think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll put out a note tonight or in the morning and request some support from everybody that's in the club to see if anyone else wants to participate. And then we can choose from whoever says yes. And whoever doesn't get selected this time can maybe do it for the April.
Right. And then the selection committee will have to very quickly decide what the group of pictures that they want to look at, because we
Right.
have people who have sent them in, we have people that from the last time, and we have other pictures too. So,
but you've got some more pictures, Dennis?
yeah, well, I got, let's see, let me look at it here. I got it here. 5 people have sent pictures in that they wanted to be considered for this round.
Okay,
in addition to the ones that are.
In addition to the ones that weren't selected last time
exactly.
and others that we might want to look at.
Okay. Who are the,
Holly has a question.
okay,
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't clear if we were selected last time, if we were allowed to submit again.
You're allowed to submit again. What you are not allowed to do is submit the same picture.
Okay. Is it too late? Can I send a few to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And you also have at least one other picture that wasn't sent in that can be in the mix too. So
Okay.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
please
to
do.
interrupt the meeting to ask that.
That's a good question. We should make clear.
hey, Dennis, who are the 5 that you already have?
The new 5,
Oh, I'll have to go on my computer here and look. Just go ahead and do your stuff and I'll get back to you.
Okay,
Okay. So the question he had was, do we want to select from the new 5, the old ones that are, he said were 19, and then do we want to also pull in anyone who has received a 9 score from PSA from something else?
I think we have to ask people. I don't think we can just pull their pictures in and submit them without first asking them if they want that picture submitted.
yeah,
Right.
Sharon's correct, but we did that last time, okay? I know Dennis went out to a couple of people and said, hey, we think this photo is very computable. And I went out and in fact, I contacted Frank and asked him to submit his photo, okay? And he ended up getting honorable mention. So yeah, we can still look at the photos, but once we select the photos, we can go to back and say, hey, this is what we want to send. Are you still okay with it?
Okay. Do somebody needs, we've got some back noise and I don't know where it's coming from.
It's
Okay.
good now.
Conversation. Okay.
I turned the people that have submitted photos are Eric Bowden, is it Frank Barkay, and Greg Kress and Patricia Jones.
Okay.
But there's 4 people, but they submitted 5 photos.
Okay. Um, do Victor or Dennis, do one of either or both of you, would you want to check to see who might also have a 9 score from last year?
I have the only for the June competition that we did, I have all of the results, and I have the, let's see, I have that information here. I have the information of the people that got 9s, and I think there were 4 people that did that. But all of the other photos, I think maybe, hopefully Holly has that information, but I don't have access to it.
Well, I've got every photo that's gone to PSA for judging that was a 9.
Okay,
I have that photo because I've been keeping them because that was one of the things that was a criteria for photographer of the year.
okay, well, that's
So-
great. And that's,
So all the photos that qualified as a photographer of the year point, I've got in a folder. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to contact them to see if they want to enter?
well, I think what we should do is look at the photos first, and
Okay.
when we pick who they are, then go back to them.
Okay.
That'll be a
Okay.
easier way to do it, I think.
So just enter them arbitrarily and then go back to the people and see if they want to enter it.
Right, I don't think they're
Okay.
gonna disagree, and if they
Okay.
do, we can pick another one, but yeah,
Okay.
because we don't have a lot of time.
I know. Okay. So, I'm making myself a note to try to get a third person. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to skip down. I should have had this near the other financial stuff. I just had an agenda to double check what the status is on getting Holly on our checking account as a signatory.
Yeah, I have to, we either can go in and have an appointment. I think I can have them send some forms to Holly, but she will probably still have to make a phone call at least to them. I have to admit, over the holidays, I kind of dropped that ball, but I'll get back on that.
I
Okay.
seem to remember that we could have an appointment and go meet together there.
That's-
And I think if we masked and social distance, we could do that meeting pretty quickly and get stuff signed in person. And I'm totally willing to set that up with you whenever's convenient.
That probably would be easier than paperwork flying back and forth and stuff. So,
Sure.
okay, let me talk to them and see. Why don't you send me what kinds of times are most available to you, so I know when I talk to them what might work, Holly, and then we'll see if we can get something going here in January.
Sure, no problem.
I know your schedule, I think, is probably harder than mine.
Yeah, I just said because I've got kids in school and we're not letting them ride the bus. They're both back in person. So I'm
Yeah.
in the car a lot right now.
Yeah, but if you could meet at 10 or something, that might work or something.
Oh, yeah.
Get it out, see if we can get it done. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Offline.
Perfect. All right. Let's move on to the awards, the 2020 awards. Victor, do you want to take control back so you can?
Well, yeah, can you do a stop share?
Yeah,
Because only one person can share at a time.
stop share. Got it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, do y'all see the member recognition program?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so for photographer of the year, okay, we got a tie. Okay. So I was hoping that we would know the results of the image of the year sooner than the meeting in January, so we could possibly figure it out, because obviously those people have pictures in that running as well that could potentially break the tie. But because there was no guarantee that either one of their photos would be picked for image of the year, I just went ahead and sent what I had to PSA. Well, because we're doing what we're doing now, I had to call a previous judge. I had to back channel to a previous judge and ask if he would do a favor. And she said, sure. So they're in the process of being judged here in the next couple of days. I should get the results back. So we'll have a winner for that. And then image of the year, we got to wait for Holly to tabulate the votes. President's Service Award. Okay. Does anybody on the board have a nomination? I mean, I have someone selected, but if there's other nominations from anybody on the board, or Holly, did any, at the last meeting, I put that out that if anybody in the membership wanted to nominate somebody for any of these awards to send something in. Has anybody sent anything in?
No, we did not get any nominations from club members.
Okay, does anybody on the board have a nomination?
Who won it last year?
Holly.
Holly? Well, I was going to say Holly.
Well,
so can she win it 2 years in a row? She's got my vote.
Let's see.
No, it says no more than once in any 5-year period.
Yeah.
I'd like to nominate Dennis.
Wait a minute, I'm not here. What?
Just say yes, Dennis.
I didn't hear that.
Leave the room and then somebody will nominate you for something.
Okay. Are there any other nominate? We got one nomination to go with the one that I have. Anybody else have anything? Okay, then I'm gonna close the nominations, and we'll give. Let me see here. The president may choose to not issue the winner. No member. Okay. Well, the President's Service Award is given at the discretion of the president for that year, and that was me. Okay. And I can tell you, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll go ahead and tell you now. Holly nominated Dennis, and I already, well, can you see it? No, you can't see it.
No, I can't see it.
I already had Dennis down. Okay. And the reason I selected Dennis is because it takes a lot of work to get this inner club thing going. Okay.
Right.
And that just adds one more tier to what the club has been able to accomplish, and is, things like that is what's going to attract more people to our club. Okay. So without Dennis's insight into PSA and his guidance through the year, we never would have got off the ground with that inner club stuff. So I had Dennis down for that. Okay. I'm glad you didn't nominate somebody else, because that would have made it hard, Holly.
I got your back, Victor.
Okay. And then for member of the year, you've already said nobody submitted any nominations. I wrote some notes here. And the first thing I wanted to say is that, well, let me pull member of the year up so y'all can read it. Okay, so this is like contributed time and effort to the success of the club over a year or more. Okay. Well, I've had the pleasure of being able to go back through the minutes for all of the minutes that the club has, all the way back to the last written minutes are in 2013. But I did find a set of bylaws dated 2011. Okay. Now, I was starting to think the club wasn't formed in 2011. When I got to the end of the minutes, is it what it is 2013? Where's 12? And then I found the bylaws that were dated 2000. Well, a revision in June of like 2011 or something like that. So somewhere in 2011, they stood the club up, and then they revised the bylaws in 2011. But let me tell you something, okay? Sandy
Yeah.
was secretary in 2013 and 14. She was a director in 2000. No, she was the secretary in 2017 and 18. She was a director in 2019 and 2020. Okay. And going back through the minutes, the history of this club is it started out in people's homes. Okay. And then in a senior facility, not the Comel senior facility, another senior facility, and then someone's office. And then, I think Marilyn's daughter-in-law or something had a studio somewhere, and they met there a few times, and then back to the senior facility, and then to the art league for a little while, for not even an entire year, I think about 6 months. And then they moved to the Comel County Senior Center. So, and not only that, but Homer, okay, he was president in 2014 and 15. He was vice president 2018 and 17. In 2016, he was vice president, but had to take over the president's duties because Linda wasn't around the entire time. So going through the minutes, I don't know. I got two things that I would like to see happen. Okay. Y'all have to decide. But I want to do a co-member of the year for Homer and Sandy. Okay. And it encompasses all of that service to the club. Okay. The second thing I want to do is nominate them for life membership. Okay. And add them to the roles with Marilyn and Liz. Okay. So, but this is up for discussion because let's see what it says here. The recipient is chosen by the board of directors from a list of members submitted for nomination. Okay, so I'm submitting Homer and Sandy as members of the year with that add-on like Congress does. They attach all those bills to bills going up, the life membership status.
In addition to all the offices overall, they've been in office, one or both of them almost the whole time, but they also have made Fall into Fall happen, Fall into Art or whatever that is happen.
Mhm.
They bring the tent, they're there almost every day.
Yep.
They have more than participated in any event we had, so I cannot disagree with you at all. I think they are a worthy choice.
Okay. So I made the motion. Somebody's got to second it.
I'll
I
second.
second it.
I second.
All in favor? Well, that's Melissa's job.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, so the photographer of the year we'll know in a couple of days. Image of the year, Holly will let me know. Okay, so that I can get the wording right. And then the President's Service Award. Congratulations, Dennis. That's going to be yours. Don't tell nobody. Member of the year is going to be co-presented to both of them with, and also the not honorary but lifetime membership. Okay, so we'll go from there.
Right now for image of the year, we have a tie.
Ooh.
So my understanding is that the president would break the tie. Is that correct?
I think that's probably true.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
So when is the voting end?
Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check my email Sunday evening or Monday morning.
So I'm
Yeah,
not sure I voted yet. I still have time to vote, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll send out another like reminder on Facebook.
Oh, good.
Okay.
so
Or you
we
can
don't,
just ping me, send me a message if it's still a tie, Holly.
Okay,
I'll go out and look.
okay.
okay. In regard to the 2020 awards, okay, I have 4 gift cards to Final Work. I have 4 $100 gift cards to Final Works, okay, and that is the only thing I have right now, okay. So the how'd we do it last year? Did we refund people's membership money?
Yes.
For image of the year, right?
Yeah, well, all 4 get free membership for the next year.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
Yeah, that was new this year. It wasn't last year.
Oh, okay. And Homer and Sandy have already paid their membership for 2021. Should that be refunded?
Yeah.
Probably wait till after it's announced though.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Good point.
And Victor, I still have one Digital Pro Lab card for the 16 by 20 for
Have-
the image of the year winner.
for
Well,
the image of the year.
Yeah.
we're gonna give them a Final Works card. So just hang on to that for a door prize.
Okay.
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 So do we need to purchase our monthly award cards for this year? Or do we, I mean, because I know some of those guys are struggling, like, you know, the small businesses. Do we need to purchase some of those cards for this year? What's our status? What do we need to do?
Well, with that thought, okay, I made a phone call to Digital Pro Lab to ask them if they had gift cards, okay? Because and kind of what prompted that was I think at the last board meeting, Holly made the comment that no, it wasn't at the, it was at the motion I made on the Facebook website about wanting to do plaques. And
Oh.
then there was a comment about, well, I've got a lot of 16 by 20 gift cards already. Yeah, 16 by 20 gift cards. And I usually don't print that big. So I went to ask them if they had
Greedy.
I asked them if they had gift cards so that people could get what they wanted, maybe some 8 by 10s, 11 by 14s, you know, and not be stuck with a 16 by 20. So what they don't have gift cards per se for dollar value, but what they can do is a promo code that would give a 16 by 20, which is what they're willing to give us, costs $25. Okay. So they'll, if they can do a promo code that is good for $25 and you can order whatever you want. And if your order comes up to $37.50, the promo code will deduct $25 from that order. Or if it
Yeah.
comes up to $21.95, you don't get any money back. Okay.
But they can carry a balance, because when my brother wanted to get Dennis a gift, they just added it to his account as a, what do you call that?
Credit.
Credit.
So they can credit your account if you're somebody who goes there frequently, with that extra $4, I bet.
Well, if whoever wins it is doing that, okay.
Yeah.
But my recommendation, along with what Melissa just said about the company having a hard time with having to shut down, let people go, and stuff like that, our club is doing well. I think our club is doing well. I know there's some people in the club that may not be doing as well. Okay. Just like some of the businesses aren't. Okay. But the majority of our folks in our club are retired folks, and their checks still coming, whether they go to their business or not. I'd like to recommend, 12, if we pay for 12 promo codes, okay? And what that would do is, that comes to $300. We give Digital Pro Lab $300. They create 12 promo codes unique to our club. We give Holly the 12 codes, and then she can email the code to each winner. And the winner can use that for $25 toward whatever they want to print. Okay. But that's my recommendation. We obviously have the money in the account. But with that said,
Hey, Victor,
yeah,
somebody, I think I heard someone comment that they, print smaller. They want print smaller than a 16 by 20.
yeah,
Digital Pro Lab, if the print you want will fit on a 16 by 20 paper, they'll print that for you as well. You don't have to get a 16 by 20 if you want an 11 by 14 or so long as it'll fit on a 16 by 20 and they have to cut it down, they'll do that for you at no charge. At least they have for me.
well, that's true. That's true. Okay. But then that kind of defeats, 11 by 14 is, $8.
Oh, right.
you
Right.
know,
I'm just saying, rather for those that have cards, if they thought they had to use it on a 16 by 20 only, rather than
okay.
it sitting in your desk and collecting dust forever, you can use it for a 11 by 14 or whatever. So long as it's a 16 by 20 or smaller, you can use that card for it.
That's true. And here's something else, okay, that I probably should have made everyone aware of sooner than today, is if you have a gift card for a 16 by 20, open up the Rose software, load up a 16 by 20 canvas, and then put different pictures. You can put 8, how many 8 by 10s can you get on a 16 by 20? Okay. 4 by 6s. You can put as many pictures on that canvas that will fit, and they'll cut it for you, so you can still do that, but now,
Well, the gift cards are only for prints, not for canvas.
well, when I say canvas, I'm in the software program, and you pick the size of the paper that you want, and
Right.
I refer to that as a canvas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's just the blank screen. I got a white piece of paper up there, and I'm throwing X number of like creating a collage,
Collage.
and then either they cut it or I cut it when I get it.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
but not everybody is that savvy. So,
Right. I was just throwing that out there because someone had commented, well, I never want to print that large. So long as it's 16 by 20 or smaller, you can still use your card.
yeah. But I think a promo code,
Oh,
even if the board was to vote, no, we don't want to pay for it, I would still recommend that the board go toward a promo code instead of a card.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially now, since we can't get together.
Right. So,
I'm going to make a motion that we do that because we're just about ready to start meeting next week and we're going to need to do something for this year. So
I'll second the motion. I think we ought to pay for promo codes.
okay. Okay, Melissa. She seconded it.
yeah. So
Well, you can third it, Victor.
Okay. All in favor? All
There
in
you go.
favor?
yeah, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Good.
All right. So we have a credit card, right? The club has a credit card we can purchase.
It's a debit card, actually.
Debit card. Okay. So do you need to do that then, Sharon?
It's probably easiest if I do it.
Okay.
So,
So we
Sharon,
want 12 $25
Promo code.
promo codes.
yeah,
Okay.
just if you call Digital Pro Lab and ask to talk to Amanda
Okay.
and tell her that the board voted to purchase 12 promo codes at $25 a piece, and she'll take your debit card number over the phone, and you can run that debit card as a credit card. Okay. She'll just run it like a credit card. It'll be paid for, and she can get those promo codes to us probably within a couple of days. And
Yeah, she can probably email them and then you can email them to Holly. So that way they're in two places for security reasons for the club.
Good idea.
Well, and make sure the promo codes don't have expiration dates.
Right.
yeah, and ask Amanda if they can be unique promo codes like NBPS January, February, March, April.
Well, the reason I say make sure that they don't come with expiration dates is if you're going to buy all 12 at once, by the time you get to July,
December.
you
Yeah.
don't want it to be expired.
Right.
Right. But they do need to be unique too, so that somebody doesn't, I mean, we don't necessarily know everybody that joins the club, that somebody doesn't just end up using the code more than once.
But Amanda come up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She'll come up with
she's not going to
whatever
give
work.
you. Yeah,
She'll
she's
come-
not going to give you 12 exact promo codes.
No.
Yeah.
Be-
It'll be 12 different
Like-
codes that will work within the row system. And this makes it easy because the gift cards, you had to go down in person and use the gift cards, right?
I think so.
Yeah, promo code you can do over the internet. So that makes it easier for the winning individual.
Okay. Next, we still have the logo contest. What's the status on that, Victor?
Well, we only had 2 people submit logos. One person submitted 5 logos, and then one person submitted 1 logo. Hang on for just a second. Let me stop the share.
Okay.
And I'll.
You know, I worked on one and never submitted it.
Well, pull it up and let's look at it.
Well, I was trying to, problem is I don't know like vector art very well and I don't have Illustrator or anything. So I was trying to mock stuff up in Photoshop And I was trying to get the little swirls that the city of New Braunfels has. They have two little swirls as part of their logo. And so I was trying to recreate that with like a calligraphy brush in Photoshop. But what I did is I just went and took it from their website and plopped it into Photoshop so I could try to recreate it. So it's plagiarized. So I never figured out how to do it, which is why I never submitted it. But I could show it to you if you want. It's really simple, but
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to look at it, but let me show y'all what was submitted. And then we'll go from there. Because I was gonna make a recommendation that we postpone the logo contest. But let me do another share. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, can you see this where it says 10 years New Braunfels Photographic Society?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one logo. Okay,
Okay.
let's go to the next one. And let me zoom in on this one a little bit. There we go. There's a second logo.
oh my gosh, photographics misspelled.
Okay.
That's really busy.
Uh-huh.
All right. And then here is another logo.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. And then
They say club service award.
here is another logo.
I like that one a little better. Why did they say club service award? This was something we're going to use for posters and things, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten what
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
But three of them say
We,
that.
we were the only club in PSA to receive a club service award for 2020.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I think that's unclear what that's. Mhm.
Yeah. So, okay.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm guessing all the last ones are from the same person, right? Same camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really need to be a vector image, so it'll scale. If you're going to print, resize, it doesn't lose any resolution. So I don't know if those are JPEGs or.
They're just not good enough.
No. I mean, if I were going to have to vote, it would have to be the first one.
Well, I don't think we have enough.
But I don't.
Well, Holly, I'm going to stop my share and you show us what you had.
All right. Let's see. I've never done this before, so please forgive me.
Well, make sure. Well, never mind.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if y'all can you see that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you find the share screen button?
Yeah. Share screen, desktop
And then-
one.
You can do the whole
And then
text.
you have to find the item you want to share.
Open system preferences. Oh, I have to grant access from my system preferences. I'm sorry, guys.
You're probably going to have to disconnect to do that if you're on a Mac. It's a bummer.
Are you on a Mac, Holly?
I am.
Well, no wonder.
You know what? I can just hold it up from my iPad. So I'll just hold it up to the camera. Let's do it like, so let's see. I have it saved here. It's super simple. It's just a camera with an aperture with the dates on the top. And then those two little New Braunfels swirls because I was like looking at what's iconic for New Braunfels. Photos. Oh, God, sorry. Gosh.
Oh, I got
Awkward. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hang on a second. Now I lost my all photos. Jeez. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a bad moment here.
You're just trying to hurry. Don't hurry.
It's fine.
Okay, here we go. There, can you see that okay? So it's just
Yeah.
at the top, and it's just a black camera, white aperture, and then it just says our name at the bottom of the camera, and then the little New Braunfels swirls at the bottom. The swirls are what I was trying to recreate because I just stole those off of the New Braunfels website. So it's just it's very, very simple. So I was trying to think of something that would look good small and look good big, but I'm not a graphic artist. This was just something I was playing around with one day on the Christmas break when I was a little bored. But I seriously spent like 3 hours trying to figure out the calligraphy brush in Photoshop to make the, I
Oh,
couldn't do it.
Okay. Well, what does everyone think we ought to do? Because I'll be honest with you, based on the submissions we got so far, it's not something I would want to be stuck with for a long time.
I agree.
I say we extend it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could use the holidays as, I mean, nobody wants to do that over the holidays and they're busy, and let's just extend it again.
I
Okay.
wonder how much it costs to hire a designer to do one.
Well, there is that approach. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard of Fiverr, right? The website. I mean, you can literally pay $5 for a logo, and they're pretty, depending who you choose. There's graphic artists that'll do that very easily, as low as $5. That's why the website's called Fiverr.
Oh, wow.
And
Have you seen any of their logos though for $5?
yeah, there's literally thousands of people on there. That's what they do. They just do the little jobs. I can share the website. Let me see. I'm surprised nobody has heard of Fiverr.
It's just a shame. We're photographers, not design artists.
Well, there's all sorts of people there that do Photoshop. They do all sorts of things. Let's see. Now they want you to log in. Before it was just pretty simple, but I'll send it on the chat. And we can find someone to do that very easily, if that's the route you guys want to take. Wrong keyboard.
Crowdsourcing would be a great idea because we don't have that big a membership, and if anyone was really interested and really capable,
Okay.
Autocorrect fixed it. It's actually 2 R's. Give me 1 second.
Oh, it's Fiverr.
Yeah, autocorrect fixed it on when I set to them, but it's 2 R's.
Okay.
I've used them. I've used I have an LLC, and I've used some of those graphic artists to use some even animation and all this other stuff.
Huh.
Sounds good to me.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
And most
Okay.
of them will give you will give you a chance to revise. So they'll say like 2 revisions included. So you can look at it and say, no, I don't quite like that, or I want to adjust this or that.
So do you give them some ideas of what you're looking for? Is that what you do?
Yeah, you give them ideas. You can even send them pictures, or obviously the text or what you want on there, and your concept, really your design, what you have, or your vision for it. And then they'll come back and present, and then you can do revisions after that. So
Albert sounds like a director of, help me out, Victor. He's a director of logos.
Director of logo development.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
I could definitely spearhead that if you guys want. That's not a problem.
I think that's a great idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we first put this out, we just said we wanted something that had when the club was established, which was 2011. Okay. And this is our anniversary year. And then something that brings in the New Braunfels vibe. Okay. And I know when I was driving around New Braunfels looking for inspiration, there's some neat logo. The city's got some neat logos down at the Chamber of Commerce, the Civic Center. On the city's website, they got a couple of different type logos, kind of like got a bear or something up there and a flag. Something that looks like a waterfall, I think. Or I might have it confused with something else.
We've got the rivers and we've got what's that thing called? The gazebo. We've got a lot of stuff down in New Braunfels that we could try to pull in somehow.
Yeah. I mean, what do y'all think about a close up of a camera and then in the aperture area where the lenses make it look like a reflection of the gazebo in that area. Okay. And then I've never been a big fan of just circles, more of a oblong type thing or something like that. Let's see. Hang on. Oh gosh, Don.
So Albert, when you submit these ideas to these logo designers, what is like the turnaround on that? Is it a couple of days? Is it a couple of weeks or?
No, it's quick, couple of days at the most. And they'll tell you, they outline that. So I just kind of sent a screenshot to everybody in chat, and you can see, I just pulled up, give me all the designers that'll do logos between $5 and $20. And you can kind of get an idea. I don't know if you guys can see it in chat. I just sent a screenshot of that webpage.
I can see it.
You guys can go there too and look at it. But you can kind of see the description there. I will design retro vintage hand lettering logo. Some will do flat minimalist and all sorts of things. But I've gotten fairly good results. I haven't used them extensively. I can go back on the individuals that I used. Anybody that's really good at Photoshop or has Photoshop skills, you can get on there and makes a little extra money.
Yeah.
People will pay you to edit photos and stuff.
Good enough.
Yeah. You've probably got enough ideas by now to submit something, right?
Yeah, and Victor, if you want to shoot me an email with just some general ideas, the ones we discussed, then I can kind of type those up and send it to somebody. I mean,
Do we want to set a budget?
I don't mind pitching in for that. It's not a big deal for me.
Well, we should have some type of budget. I mean, how much do you think this would run into, Albert?
Well, he sent out a feeler for $5 to $20, so I'm sure he'll probably get some hits from folks that are willing to do it within that budget, right?
Okay.
It's called Fiverr after all.
Yeah. And
so you could set a limit of $20 to do a quick logo and see what happens.
And there's literally, let's see how many designers. I mean, I keep going and going. I just sent a screenshot. There was only half a page, and there's more than 10 pages. So there's a lot of designers.
Right.
So what I usually do, I'll go by ratings, and people that have rated or have high ratings, then I'll probably go down that route and within the budget. But even if we want to set it at you know, $5, $10 or whatever, I can pitch in for if it's more, if I think it's justified or we'll get a better outcome. It's not a big deal. It's not much.
Well, eh, I'd like to make a motion that we give Albert the leeway to work on this, but set a $25 budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
and then Albert can send Sharon the receipt and Sharon can reimburse him.
Okay.
All right.
What I can do,
I second.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Albert, I'll shoot you an email. It'll be probably Friday before I can do it though.
no, that's fine.
All right.
And what I can do, if we're going to go through certain revisions, because they'll allow X amount of revisions, I can send out the first for everybody to look at. And if you guys have any comments or want to do some changes, then I can send those back.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So at the meeting, then we'll just need to announce that we'll thank the two people that, I mean, in the agenda, you can say, okay, the update, Victor will give us the update. And I'll just say the board met and we decided because of we want to thank the folks that had submitted, and I'll come up with a couple of door prizes for the two that submitted. And then we'll say the board decided to hire someone to create one. So.
Okay. Okay. I only had two more things on the agenda. One is, does anyone have a suggestion for who we think should work on the audit committee for this year and the nomination committee for this year? Just be thinking about that so that we can get that, get those folks engaged later on this year. And then the last thing, we had a person who contacted us on our webpage who wanted to know if we, I don't know how they put it, if we handle, how do we handle meetings for people who are deaf? I can't remember exactly how they put it, but
Yeah, I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's a new member, Janice Aronson, new member to the Facebook group. And she asked, do you provide interpreters for the deaf during your monthly meetings? And I responded, we haven't had a need up to this point, but I can bring it up at our next board meeting to discuss. I'm not sure how we could make it work with Zoom, but we will do our best to figure it out. And she sent back a thumbs up. So I don't know if there's a way to close caption the recording after we're done. I mean, it would probably mean somebody having to listen to it all and transcribe it, or if there's a program that does that.
I think there is some way to do it. I sent a link. I can't remember who I sent a link to. Maybe you, Holly, or maybe everybody on the board. I don't remember. But Zoom does have some way to do closed captioning. I don't know how accurate it is because obviously none of us have tried it. But we should try it. I don't know if it's something we have to pay extra for. I have no clue. But then we also would have a problem once we start live meetings again.
Okay. I saw that on the agenda. Okay. So I did the research in regard to Zoom.
Okay.
It's an added fee. Okay. What you have to do is purchase a Zoom room if you want closed captioning. Okay. And a room is $49 a month.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, and right now, well, Zoom is one of the expenses that I'm picking up as a sponsor from the Church Photography School and Studio. Okay. So the annual subscription fee for the Zoom is not coming out of the New Braunfels budget. The same with Meetup, okay? That's church photography is paying for that, okay? So those are two expenses we don't have. If you wanted to do closed captioning, I think that's an expense I would prefer not to add to what I'm already paying.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. I think we should start looking for, if we're going to have that issue, maybe we could start looking for a sign language interpreter, okay, that could attend our meetings, and they could be in a box down at the bottom or something like that, and they could be doing whatever when we're talking, and then maybe come to the meetings. But we need to find someone that's willing to do that I would recommend trying to find someone that would do that in a volunteer status. I don't think we should pay for someone when, well, like Holly said, we've never had that issue before, and we actually don't make enough revenue to start paying someone to come down and do that, I don't think.
That's a lot. And the $49 a month, frankly, that's a lot for to have a room, an add-on room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $600 a year.
With no guarantees that the person we're doing this for is even going to attend the meeting.
Exactly.
So if you elect to find someone to do hand signals and, you know, at our
Fine.
meetings, we're going to definitely have to make our meetings shorter. That's a lot of hand signals for hour and a half or 2 hour meeting.
Yeah.
You're going to be hard pressed to find someone to do it for that long.
I wouldn't do it for a volunteer for that long.
Yeah.
And even people that do that, it's usually two. They'll rotate like every 15, 20 minutes or so. I've
Right.
seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to be the one to be pessimistic here, if that's the right word, but that's going to be a hard order to fill for a small club like ours.
And for one person, it's
right.
be difficult for one person.
Yeah. And I mean, that just might have to be a situation where, sadly, we report to the person that we don't have the financial means to accommodate that because our club is so small. I mean, I don't know any other answer to that. Because again, $49 a month for a room when there's not even a guarantee that the person's going to be at the meeting that night. That's just me.
So did this person join, Holly? Did they join?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Sharon or Beverly if we have a new member named Janice Aronson who sent in money, but they joined our Facebook group and I sent them the info for our meeting on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it might just go away on its own.
Well, I told her I would get back to her after.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
After our board meeting. Okay. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
then
mean-
I can just tell her that what the cost is and that we can't, you know, carry that cost. And, you know, perhaps she has an interpreter that she works with regularly that could come to the meetings with her, but that we can't provide it.
And that was going to be my next suggestion was
Mhm.
let it be her responsibility. If she wants to join and take part in the group, that even with Zoom, she can have her interpreter with her to interpret her what we're all talking about.
right.
And then when we go back to in-person meetings, maybe she can, you know, bring her interpreter with her.
Right.
Because a lot of times people with hearing loss, their interpreters, they don't have to pay for that. That's paid for by insurance or other organizations. So it might not be a cost to her at all to provide her own interpreter once a month for 2 hours. So,
Right. I agree.
but I hate to exclude anyone because of a disability. But we can only do what we can do.
Right. Yeah. As a mom to a kiddo with some pretty significant disabilities, I have that my heart goes out to her that she can't be included in our club. Victor, when you looked at closed captioning options, did you look at any like third party or after party options instead of going through Zoom?
I'm kind
No,
of researching. There is.
I didn't because I don't know how to incorporate anything else with Zoom.
Well, it would just be after, like when we put the recording up on YouTube. So they wouldn't be able to participate live, but then they could watch the recording afterward if it were closed captioned after the meeting was recorded.
I did not look into that.
There is a Google Live transcribe that apparently would work with Zoom, that would do a live, I guess, closed captioning.
Oh, really?
I guess that would work with anybody, or even a recording. I'd probably. I can research that. I was looking at that right now.
So would it work during a meeting, or is it something that she would just have to watch the meeting after the fact?
I think it works live, but I guess it would work on a recording too, because you make action to. It says open Google Doc. I gotta read through the whole thing. I haven't tried it, but I was just looking for
Yeah,
it.
I'm looking at some options too. There's one here called 3Play Media. It looks like, I don't know if there's a fee involved or not, but we can do some little research and see.
Some more research.
Yeah, see if there are other options.
But I'll be sure and talk to her because she should have, I would assume she has a whole lot more knowledge than we do.
Right.
Right.
Might have some ideas. Once she knows we don't have big money and can't pay $50 a month, maybe she has some ideas for us, you know?
Good idea, Sharon.
Yeah, so you could suggest that if she does have an interpreter, that she could invite that interpreter. And then if she knows of any closed caption tools that are inexpensive, free being the right word, we'd be happy to investigate further.
Okay. I'll get back to her then.
Okay.
I would note that we use Zoom, and that's the platform that we use for video conferencing. And if she has an app that already works with that, she might already have the answer.
Yeah, sure.
He or she, I'm sorry, I don't know. I didn't hear if it was who was inquiring.
I think that is the last item that I had on the agenda today. Does anybody have anything else?
I don't.
Well, we're almost on time, 6 minutes over. Not too bad
Not
for the
bad.
for the
All right.
first one of the year. So I guess there's several action items for the next time, and we'll meet again in April, I think, as a board. In the meantime, we'll communicate.
Have
by
those
email.
dates been set?
I believe so.
You can do the first Wednesday before the meeting at
Mhm.
6:30 p.m. I put it
Okay.
on the website that way.
I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and create the links for the board meetings and post the link on the Facebook board site. So that it'll always be there.
Yeah, it'll be April, October, December. I do have a question. When I was looking at the board at the New Braunfels Photographic Society website, we have the regular minutes out there. We have the board minutes out there. But what we don't post is the presentations. And I guess we're just now doing that. the recordings on our YouTube channel, but we don't have a link to that for,
To the YouTube channel?
hmm?
A link to the YouTube channel?
Well, I think we do have a link to the YouTube channel, right? But I guess I was thinking that the meeting presentations past, we haven't posted those in the past, but now we're putting them out there recorded
Right.
on the channel. Okay.
Yeah, and I tell you what, with the way we're doing it now, well, it's working right now because I'm recording the board meeting and you shared. So I'll go back through the recording to see if there was any glitches, but this was a good dry run for the actual meeting because I can start the recording and you can go in and, you know, share your screen and run the PowerPoint and go down the line. It should work okay.
Okay.
Melissa, I think that's a good idea. Like maybe once I get the minutes uploaded, I could also we could call it meeting minutes and monthly meetings and minutes. Just change the name of the tab and I could have the YouTube and
Link.
meeting minute link for the month. And that way, if
Okay.
everybody wanted to, instead of having to go one extra step going to YouTube to find it, can just click it right from the website. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Because who knows how long it's going to be before we can meet in person again. It's at least 6 months, I would think, at this point.
Yeah.
I would say you're right.
And you know, even when we are able to come back together and get back into the library, I think we still should record the meeting and post it up to YouTube for people that couldn't make the meeting that night. Okay. So we need to figure out if there's any, and it'd be nice if we could do it live, but I don't know if the library's Wi-Fi will support it or not. Well, when we're able to get back in there, we need to do some kind of test run or something and see if we can do that.
Okay. And then if we can't, then we have to figure out how to record it. How to record it so that we can post it later.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all I have. And I guess we'll see each other again Monday.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Nice meeting.
Okay.
All right. Good to see everybody. And
You
Scott, Beverly, Albert, welcome to the board.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
All
See
right.
y'all.
hey, Beverly,
Yeah,
I sent you all the digital files.
yes.
Okay. And then I got a stack of paper like this. Okay. But
Okay.
but it's all from 2017 and back.
Oh, okay.
What? No, 2018 and back, because 2019,
Bye, guys.
2020, by
Bye.
Scott, you have digitally. Okay.
Right.
So I just needed that historical reference to help me with the President's Award thing. So I'm working on trying to scan all those documents and make
Oh, that
them
would be nice.
digital documents, because going back and reading some of these minutes and everything was really enlightening. It really was, to see how far the club has come.
Yeah. Good.
All right, but it will take me a while because my scanner is
okay.
not a high-speed scanner.
Yeah, I know. Mine's not real fast either. So,
Okay. All right.
All right, you guys have a good
Take care,
Bye.
Albert.
Night.
Have a good night.
Hey,
Bye.
night.
Melissa, you got anything for me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
bye.
Everything work okay for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then we should be good to go. So I would imagine that I'll have the link. I'll activate the the Zoom, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And people can jump. I'll be here to let people in, okay? Because I think the way it was originally set up, you jumped into a waiting room and then you had to be admitted in. So I'll be doing that, but I'll try to set it up the same way I set up the meeting tonight so that
Okay.
we shouldn't have any problem. When you're ready to share what you got to share, you should be able to do it.
I am working on that presentation already. I've started it and I'll finish it this weekend. I have the photos downloaded and I have pulled those into Microsoft, whatever that's called, picture or whatever. So that working, which seemed to be the easiest way to do it as opposed to copying and pasting.
Yeah, copying and
Pain
pasting
in the
takes some
butt.
time. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that I used to use PowerPoint quite often and I haven't used it in probably, at least 7 or 8 years. So it's a little bit cumbersome for me right now.
I will share with you one thing I did last month that I never did before. I always had a slide for old business,
Mm-hmm.
and then each topic under old business had its own slide, and then I had a slide for new business. And for December I just went club business,
Okay.
and just combined old and new, and well, this is just what we got to talk about, and that took less time, because I wasn't worried about going to the old PowerPoint to see, well, what was the new business in the old PowerPoint to be the old business? What was the new business in the old PowerPoint to be the new business in the new PowerPoint?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so it made it simpler for me, but I'm a simple-minded person.
Me too.
But
All right. So like I said, I'm working on it. I'm moving some stuff to the end. We already did talk about the interclub thing last time. So I've eliminated and moved some of those slides to the end, and I'm only going to keep up the honorable mention ones because of the ribbons. And I think I left up one of those slides that had everyone's names on it just so we could talk about that.
okay.
But I'm just kind of trying to streamline back down to what we really have to talk about. And I don't, some of it's going to go quick because we don't know what we're doing yet.
Okay.
Like logo, and we'll do the awards. Of course, we'll do the awards first. Probably
Okay.
we go into the photos.
So are you going to do that the way I used to do stuff? Is okay, 2020 awards, okay, and like Victor, okay,
You're going to do the awards because you were the president last year.
okay, all right,
Yes. Yeah.
okay, mighty fine. The do you want to know who the photographer of the year is when I get to vote back?
Yes. Yeah, because when I need to put it in the slides.
Well, it's the 2020 photographer of the year, so I'll do a slide for the four awards.
Okay. Okay. You'll do that slide. I'll just have a slide that says this is what we're doing and it's Victor's.
Yeah. When I tell you what, I'll send it to you so you can enclose it. Okay. Or insert it, because I think it'd be too difficult, because what would have to happen is you would have to stop your share and I would have to start a share to show it. So I think
I'll just do a preface slide that says whatever those awards, 2020 awards of the year with your name, and won't flip to the next page till you tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll send you the slides.
Okay. And for the image and
well, I tell you, you're gonna have to get the image of the year from Holly.
From Holly. Yeah. I'll get that from her. Monday morning,
And
probably.
I'll just, once I know who the winner for the photographer of the year is, I'll let you know. Dennis is the President's Service Award.
Right.
Okay. And Homer and Sandy is the Member of the Year. Okay. So you already have that. So go ahead and build it any way you want. Okay.
Yeah, I'll start it. The only thing I'll have to leave a placeholder for is the photo, the image of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then I'll just tell them, hey, Sharon's going to refund your membership dues, and I'm going to email you the codes for your $100 gift card to Final Works.
Right. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Great.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Bye.
And you've already sent out the link for that meeting, right? You did for the Monday.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
a standard.
Yeah, it's out. It's
Okay.
it's the same. It's the same link for every month.
Right. Okay.
Well, it's the registration link.
Right.
And if everybody uses the registration link, and don't share, when you hit the registration link, you sign up for the meeting, and then it gives you the link.
Okay.
Okay. And
Find
that
that
way,
again.
that way we have a list of who all was at the meeting.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go find it again. I couldn't find the one for today. I don't know how I managed to lose it, but I do.
Okay.
All right.
Take it easy.
See you next week.
Bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye.